How's it going, everybody? Lampini here again, and we have another football video for you today. Yes, I've been banging out the NFL content recently. In today's video, I am going to be making a tier list of all 32 NFL teams' quarterback situation. So, as you can see right here, this is the tier list that I have created for this video. It is 5 tiers. We have superstar, solid franchise quarterback, rookie franchise quarterback. That basically means a quarterback that was recently drafted that's on a rookie scale contract that a team is positioning for them to be the franchise, basically. So they're not an established starter that got the bag, that's, in it, and they're, their solid long-term option. The way I look at it is like the solid franchise quarterback is the present and the rookie franchise quarterback is the future. Then we have low-tier starter. These are teams that have a starting quarterback, but it's not a long-term solution. You could even say bridge quarterback. They're not a long-term solution. They're not even really like a good option. They would very much like to be in one of the other top 3 tiers. And then after that, we just have trash. These are teams that have an absolute trash QB situation. They need to change it ASAP, and they are in big trouble. So that pretty much is that. Without further ado, let's kick things off. The Arizona Cardinals. So for the Cardinals, they have Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback for this season. They got rid of Kyler Murray, and now they have pretty much a linear option, I'd say. Jacoby Brissett is a solid quarterback, I guess, but he's like this the Tyrod Taylors of the world, the Gardner Minshews of the world, the Geno Smiths, the Tua Tagovailoas of the world, where they're a high-tier backup, low-tier starter, right? But this is not a long-term solution for the Cardinals. They are not going anywhere with this option. So for that reason, the Cardinals are in the trash tier. Jacoby Brissett is not going to be their starter next year, and they are pretty much tanking to try and get a better option next year. Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are in a very interesting situation because right now, I think they have 2 starting caliber quarterbacks as it stands right now. They have Michael Penix and they have Tua Tagovailoa. So it's very well publicized what the Falcons did with Kirk Cousins and then Michael Penix. Michael Penix going through another big surgery. He's an injury concern. I really don't know who is going to take the quarterback slot from them. Tua's on a 1-year prove-it deal. Michael Penix, I think, is going to start out as the starter. And while Michael Penix is on the rookie franchise quarterback, while he's in the rookie franchise quarterback tier, I think Michael Penix is fighting a losing battle with all of his injuries. He hasn't played great. So for that reason, I'm actually putting both him and Tua in the trash tier, mainly because I can't see either one of these guys being successful. Baltimore Ravens. So for the Baltimore Ravens, you know him, you love him. His name is Lamar Jackson. He's going in the superstar tier. 2-time MVP. There's not really much to say about Lamar. He's, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Still has yet to have the playoff success that has eluded him. Maybe with this new head coach, some things will change. But, he's made the Ravens contenders year in and year out. Buffalo Bills. Much like the Ravens, Josh Allen is going to go into the superstar tier. He has just been a marginally more successful version of Lamar, which isn't saying much since Josh Allen has never made a Super Bowl, just like Lamar. But he's made 2 conference championships. He's won a lot more playoff games. He's in the superstar tier, no problem. Carolina Panthers. So for the Carolina Panthers, we have Bryce Young. Bryce Young took his team to the playoffs this year. They had a tight game with the Rams that they ultimately lost. I would put Bryce Young in the low-tier starter tier, but I'm actually going to put him in the rookie franchise quarterback tier because that's what he is. He hasn't gotten paid yet. I think that he has a very low ceiling because of his physical shortcomings. I think we pretty much saw the best that Bryce Young can offer last year. And that being said, if this was the best that he could offer, it wasn't great. You know what I mean? Like, if this is his best brand of football, he played fine, but he still wasn't great. You know what I mean? So I think that that's a perfect spot for him. The Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears have Caleb Williams, the former number 1 overall pick. He had the auspicious honor of being labeled a generational talent. he sure showed that last year when the Bears made the divisional round, and he made some pretty crazy plays in the playoffs. So impressive showing by him. This is an easy one, rookie franchise quarterback tier. He is probably going to get the bag. They're investing their future in him, and I think he's going to go a long way. Cincinnati Bengals. Another easy one, Joe Burrow for the Bengals is going to go in the superstar tier. The bigger issue with the Bengals, though, is are they going to be able to keep Joe Burrow after this season? That's the only big thing that I'm concerned about with the Bengals. And if they let Joe Burrow walk, he's going to have a Matt Stafford-esque career where he was held back by his first team, and then he's going to really, dial it up for his next team. If that's what happens, I'm going to make a whole video on the Bengals on how their franchise is so incompetent that they botched the absolute best case scenario that team possibly could have asked for. You have a superstar franchise quarterback. You have a great receiver with great chemistry. Like, so many of these NFL teams crave something like that, and they blew it because they mismanaged it, and now, he's on another team, presumably being more successful. But for now, he's in the superstar tier. Cleveland Browns. Yes, indeed, folks, the Cleveland Browns. They are once again running with Deshaun Watson as their starting quarterback. No Shedeur Sanders, no Dylan Gabriel. Deshaun Watson is once again getting a shot at being their starting quarterback. I think when this trade happened with Deshaun Watson, it was tied up with the Russell Wilson trade and how they were both considered one of the worst trades ever. But I think Deshaun Watson's trade, historically long-term, has been seen as the far, far, far worse trade. It's been absolutely brutal. They are once again giving him another chance based on some of the articles I've seen. Oh, he's playing better than ever. I've never seen someone decline like Deshaun Watson has, and he will be defined based on what he did and this trade. The first 3-4 years in Houston are irrelevant. He is going in the trash quarterback tier. I'm expecting a very similar performance from him in that he plays badly. Dallas Cowboys. So for the Cowboys, they have Mr. Dak Prescott, obviously. He is actually, ironically, the longest tenured quarterback on any team, which I think is pretty interesting. He started in 2016. I'm going to cut to the chase. Dak is a solid franchise quarterback. I know he gets a bad rap, but he does everything he needs to do. I think he is a solid franchise quarterback, and I think when you see more guys going into that tier, you'll see kind of what that means. He is their present. I think he's entering his age 32, age 33 season, so he's still quite young. He probably has 5-6 more years left for him. The failures of the Cowboys, I don't think, is because of Dak Prescott. I mean, we're basically seeing Tony Romo 2.0. If Tony Romo stayed healthy and played a little bit longer, his career would probably be a lot like Dak Prescott. He's a solid quarterback, not really much to say. I'm going with that tier. I think if he was on a different team, I think he would play a lot better, frankly. I think if he was on like the Vikings, if he was on like the Steelers, one of these teams that has a good team around it outside of the quarterback position, I think if you put Dak Prescott in there, I think he becomes very, very, very successful. Denver Broncos. So for the Denver Broncos, obviously they have Bo Nix, and I'm going to cut right to the chase again with that. Bo Nix is going in the rookie franchise quarterback tier. But as you can see, I put him behind Caleb Williams and above Bryce Young because I think that Caleb Williams is better than both those guys, and I think Bo Nix is better than Bryce Young. Bo Nix played a good season, kind of an average passer rating in terms of efficiency, so I think he was an average caliber starter. But I do think that Bo Nix is looking to be kind of like a middle-of-the-road starting quarterback as things go. But when you have an elite defense and you have Sean Payton as your head coach, that's all you need. You need a guy that's a sponge, that can run the offense, that can handle the coaching style, and Bo Nix can do that. So rookie franchise quarterback, I think that he is going to be successful. Detroit Lions. We all know the story of Jared Goff. He was traded for Matt Stafford, and people were seeing it as Jared Goff going to the Lions to die. That's not exactly what happened. He's been remarkably successful. I would put Jared Goff at solid franchise quarterback. I think Jared Goff is the best franchise quarterback that isn't considered a superstar, I think is the best way I can describe it. He plays very well. He will get low-tier MVP votes, but he's never had that one season that's made him a MVP frontrunner. He's always been a solid Pro Bowl caliber quarterback, but he's never been an MVP candidate or an Offensive Player of the Year candidate. And for that reason, he's not a superstar. He's a solid franchise quarterback. Green Bay Packers. For the Green Bay Packers, they have Jordan Love, obviously. He is the third generation of their back-to-back first ballot Hall of Fame MVP quarterbacks in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love, to put it simply, has not lived up to that expectation. And I honestly think the Packers might be in a little bit of trouble because if you look at them historically the last couple years, they have been the number 7 seed, which means they wouldn't have made the playoffs if they didn't expand the playoff picture. And outside of beating the Cowboys 2 years ago, they haven't really done that well in the playoffs. So they've been a low-tier playoff team for the most part. So they need that one more thing to kind of get them over the edge. It's like the Steelers and Packers are kind of very similar, although I do think the Packers are better than the Steelers. But they're in a similar position in terms of a team. So I am going to put Jordan Love as a solid franchise quarterback, but I haven't seen enough of him putting the team on his back or doing any of that stuff. So for that reason, he's going to go behind Dak Prescott, and he's going to be in the last place spot in terms of a solid franchise quarterback. Houston Texans. So for the Houston Texans, they obviously have C.J. Stroud. He is a rookie franchise quarterback, obviously, but things are going a bit rough for him. He's kind of collapsed a little bit the last couple years. He had a great rookie year. His second year wasn't as good, and his third year was even less than that. And he had an all-time playoff collapse against the Patriots. If he played a somewhat competent game, the Texans beat the Patriots in the divisional round, and I mean that. So he's entering a contract year, I believe. He needs to show them that he is still worth it, or else he might actually lose sight on a bag and end up being a backup quarterback. So this is a very important year for C.J. Stroud, but for now, he is still a rookie franchise quarterback. The Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are in a very interesting situation. As we all know, they're still struggling with not having a quarterback ever since Andrew Luck retired. All the quarterbacks they rotated out. However, Daniel Jones played a fantastic first half of the season, and he kind of looks like he could be a Sam Darnold story where he jumps to a different team and is successful in his new territory. The only problem is he got injured midway through the season, and now is he going to be able to return and be the top guy again? So I would have put him as a solid franchise quarterback, just because a low-tier solid franchise quarterback, just because of what he was able to do with the Colts. But I unfortunately am not going to be able to do that, and I am going to put Daniel Jones as a low-tier starter for now because of his track record and how he kind of took a bit of a skid before he got injured and was out for the rest of the season. So low-tier starter for Daniel Jones. The Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars have Trevor Lawrence, who on paper is the same guy as like a Caleb Williams type, where he was seen as generational. He was a can't-miss prospect. He had undeniable talent. He has been inconsistent at best. He's been downright terrible at worst, but he's had streaks of success. Like in 2022, the end of the season when they won their playoff game, the end of the season this time around when they were when they played against the Bills. They didn't win the playoff game, but they played very, very well down the stretch. So Trevor Lawrence did get paid. He did get his long-term contract. He is their franchise quarterback. I think he has barely escaped the rookie franchise quarterback tier just because he got his bag and got like his big contract. So I'm going to put him in as solid franchise quarterback, but I'm going to put him at the very bottom because he has shown to me that the Jaguars are investing in him, but he hasn't played like we expected him to. We expected him to be in the superstar tier, but that hasn't exactly happened. So for now, he is a solid franchise quarterback, a low one at that. Kansas City Chiefs. All right, well, the Patrick Mahomes, obviously, we are going to put him at the very, very top. Actually, I gotta redo the superstar tier a little bit. There we go. That's better. That's how they're structured in my mind. But Mahomes is the poster boy of the NFL. He's their franchise quarterback. He's the man. He's coming back from an ACL injury, so it'll be interesting to see if he's ready to go week 1 and if he plays well. I think he is a front runner for comeback player of the year. Him and Jane Daniels, I think, are the two guys racing for comeback player of the year. If Mahomes even has a somewhat decent season, he's going to win it. If Jane Daniels has an MVP caliber season, he's going to win it. So, you know, we'll see what happens here. But he's a superstar. No other way around it. Las Vegas Raiders. So this one is very interesting because we kind of know what the Raiders are trying to do in their quarterback situation. They drafted Fernando Mendoza, and they have Kirk Cousins as their temporary starting quarterback. Now, I'm going by who their week 1 starter is, and for now, that's Kirk Cousins. So I'm going to put Kirk Cousins as a low-tier starter right now. He's 38 years old. At one point, he was a solid franchise quarterback when he played for the Vikings and even for us back in the day. But for now, he is a bridge quarterback. He is meant to mentor Fernando Mendoza. And then when Fernando Mendoza comes in, he will be in the rookie franchise quarterback tier because the Raiders are investing their future in him. So that's where Kirk Cousins stands. Still love you, Kirk. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays well. I will say that about Kirk Cousins. I will not be surprised if he comes in and plays good football. And then, when the season is done and gone for the Raiders, if they're like 3-6 or something, which I can imagine happening, then they put in Fernando Mendoza, give him some reps, give him some practice, give them a head start to succeed in 2027. So that's kind of where I see Kirk Cousins as and what I see the Raiders doing this season. Los Angeles Chargers. So Los Angeles Chargers have Justin Herbert, a guy that I think has very much lived in the same footsteps as Phillip Rivers, a guy with phenomenal talent. We know he's talented. We know he can do great things, but he's underachieved. He had some incredible stats early in his career, and he's playing like a solid franchise quarterback. I think a couple years ago, he would be seen as a superstar, but not anymore. It's ironic that both Phillip Rivers and Justin Herbert are on the Chargers, because maybe it's a curse with the Chargers, but very similar situation. Like, he is a solid franchise quarterback, and he's just kind of been struggling, reaching his potential, basically. So that's where he is. Los Angeles Rams. Los Angeles Rams have the reigning MVP, Matthew Stafford, and they made the conference championship. Maybe a bit of a controversial choice on my part, but I'm putting Matt Stafford in the superstar tier. The whole reason being, he was MVP last year. He had an all-time great quarterback season. 46 touchdowns and 8 interceptions is a stat line that will win you MVP every single year. He is 37, entering his age 38 season, but I mean, he's coming off of an MVP season, so I don't know how else I can put him anywhere other than a franchise in the superstar category. I think that with Stafford's play style, it's very similar to Brady's, where he has zero mobility, he stands in the pocket, he has a rocket arm, he relies on his arm and his skill. For that reason, I think Stafford can play as long as he wants to, as long as his body holds up, and as long as his arm continues to be a rocket. He can play until he's 41, 42, 43, which would mean 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. He could play 3, 4, 5 more years if he wants to, if his body holds up and he doesn't have like a catastrophic injury. So to be honest, he's a superstar. Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are in tank mode, it appears, because they have Malik Willis as their starter. He is their starter after probably, I'd say, a couple good games for the Green Bay Packers. Congrats on him getting the bag, but that does not make him a solid franchise quarterback. It doesn't even make him a low-tier starter. I'm going to be honest. The Dolphins are in the trash category because I don't see it going well. I really don't. Like, he's not only does he not have a lot of starting experience, but he's not in a situation to succeed either. So I expect it to go very poorly, to be honest. So that's what I have with that. Also, I just remembered that I probably have to work around the trash tier to make sure that you all know who is the least trash in the trash tier and who is the most trash in the trash tier. So I went ahead and fixed that for you. So right to left is best to worst. So let's move on. Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are in a very interesting situation. They have picked up Kyler Murray off of the Cardinals to be potentially their new franchise quarterback, their new Sam Darnold type. I'm going to use that comparison a lot as a guy who jumped to a different team and ended up being very successful. The ironic thing is the Vikings had Sam Darnold at one point, and they let him walk for J.J. McCarthy, which was, in hindsight, probably one of the worst decisions they possibly could have done. But they've made their bed now. They got to lay in it. I'm putting Kyler Murray in as a low-tier starter. I think he can bounce back and be a solid franchise quarterback, but I'm just going on what I see now, and he's a low-tier starter. So that's where he is. The New England Patriots. For the New England Patriots, they have Drake May. Obviously, he had a very good season. Second place in MVP voting, made the Super Bowl. They did kind of get exposed in the Super Bowl. I know the Seahawks are a fantastic team, but if it was the Rams or the Seahawks, I think they both would have beaten the Patriots. And now Mike Vrabel is now the most despised man in the NFL right now. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But he's a rookie franchise quarterback, the step below Caleb, but he has shown a lot of potential. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in his second season as a full-time starter, third year in the league. New Orleans Saints. This is very interesting because the Saints have Tyler Shuck as their quarterback. Now, he is not as big of an investment as guys like Caleb Williams, Drake May, CJ Stroud, Bo Nix, any of the guys in the rookie franchise quarterback tier. And he had an okay season. They are going to run with him as the starter, which is weird. So I don't want to put him in the trash tier. And I don't want to put him in the low tier starter tier either. So for that reason, he's gonna have to go into the rookie franchise quarterback tier, but I'm gonna put him at the very bottom of the rookie franchise quarterback tier because his job is still up in the air. It's not like Bryce Young, Bo Nix, Drake May, Caleb Williams, or CJ Stroud, where they are the guy. Like the team is investing their future in him. And if it doesn't happen, then they're kind of screwed. Tyler Shuck doesn't really have that same vibe, so that's where I have him going. New York Giants. The Giants have Jackson Dart. He is in the same boat as a lot of these other guys. They're investing the franchise in him purely because of the fact that he hasn't played a full season yet. He is going to be in the low rookie franchise quarterback tier, but I do think he is going to be good. I will say that. I do think he's going to be good. For now, I can only go by what I see, so he's in the rookie franchise quarterback tier. New York Jets. The Jets are probably the team with the worst quarterback situation right now. No, I take that back, actually. I think the Browns are. Or actually, God, it might be the Dolphins, actually. Geno Smith is a good quarterback. He is like Jacoby Brissett or Tyrod Taylor or some of these other career backups. He had his moment in the sun where he had some good seasons with the Seahawks as a starting quarterback. You kind of can see what franchises are good at building a quarterback around them. For example, good Vikings, good Seahawks, good Steelers, bad Raiders, bad Jets. So for that reason, I'm going to put Geno Smith in the trash tier, but I'm going to put him at the very top of the trash tier. He's mainly just in a bad quarterback situation more than anything. He's not mentoring anybody. They're putting him in there to be a 35-year-old full-time solid starter. I wish him the best, but he is playing for the Jets, so I don't see that going well. So he's trash. His situation is trash. Geno's not trash. We love you, Geno. Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles for Jalen Hurts. I'm going to be very quick with this one. He's a solid franchise quarterback, and I'm going to put him about middle of the pack. I've never seen a guy be so successful and get so much criticism that Jalen Hurts has gotten. My way to look at it is, yes, he's been to 2 Super Bowls and won one. The team itself is stacked. They have their offensive, defensive lines are stacked. Their defense is stacked. They have Saquon Barkley. They have stacked wide receivers. The whole roster is stacked. If you put Jalen Hurts on the Vikings or the Seahawks, I think he does just as well. However, if you put him on the Jets or even the Bengals or the Panthers, I don't think he thrives. I think he thrives because he's in a good situation. But I think if he is relied on to elevate the team around him, like some of the guys like Mahomes, like Joe Burrow, like Josh Allen, a guy that's so good that he elevates the team around him, I don't think Jalen Hurts is that kind of guy. But he's a great quarterback. He's a solid franchise quarterback. He's taken the Eagles to 2 Super Bowls, so you can't take that away from him. He is a solid franchise quarterback, and I'd say in the upper half echelon of that as well. Pittsburgh Steelers. Hot off the coattails of me making my rant about Aaron Rodgers going to the Cardinals, a video came out basically saying that they were pretty sure that he's meeting with the Steelers, so they're pretty sure that he is going to take that tag and play with the Steelers one more year with Mike McCarthy. They're going to party like it's 2011 again, but Aaron Rodgers is not going to throw for 45 touchdowns like he did in 2011. He is a low-tier starter. I'm going to put him at the top of that line just because he is Aaron Rodgers, but I said a lot what I had to say about him in my previous video I released a couple days ago. He's operating at maybe 75%. He's had a bit of a decline. He's an average caliber NFL starter, like I said, but because of his situation and because that he's not as good as a Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, any of those guys, he's a low-tier starter right now, mainly because of how old he is, how much is left in the tank for him. Like, this is a make or break season. He's ring chasing, and he's not playing like a quarterback that's ring chasing. You know what I mean? Matt Stafford is an old quarterback that's ring chasing. Aaron Rodgers is playing like an average caliber starter, which is not going to cut it. So he's a low tier starter. San Francisco 49ers. For the San Francisco 49ers, obviously, Mr. Brock Purdy. He is a solid franchise quarterback. That's the best way I can say it. For a guy who was Mr. Irrelevant, he has exceeded expectations. He took them to the Super Bowl. He's had plenty of playoff success. He's very similar to Jalen Hurts. He's on a great team and a great system, but he still has the football IQ. He is a starting quarterback in the NFL by far. He's not a fluke. He's not a game manager. Very similar to Jared Goff. He doesn't have a lot of the intangibles that like the superstar quarterbacks have, but he's still very, very good. So he's a solid franchise quarterback. Seattle Seahawks. Much like I said about Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, all those guys, Sam Darnold is in the exact same tier. He is a Super Bowl champion, so you can't take that away from him as well, obviously. That could have been the Vikings. He jumped around and appears to have finally found a home with the Seattle Seahawks. So big congrats to him. He's had one heck of a football story when you really look at it, but he is a solid franchise quarterback for the Seahawks. And lucky for them, he's still young. He is 28 to 29, which means that he potentially could play another 5, 6, 7, 8 years for them. So more power to him. He is a solid franchise quarterback. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Much like Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield has had a very similar story. He was on the Browns. He was their franchise quarterback. They ditched him for Mr. Deshaun Watson. He bounced around a couple teams, revitalized his career at the Rams, landed in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay saw what they saw and they said, yes, you are our guy. He's very similar to Jared Goff. He's very similar to Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones to an extent, those kind of guys. So for that reason, Baker Mayfield is a solid starting franchise quarterback, right around middle of the pack. Him, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, they're all very similar, right? Solid franchise quarterback. And again, same thing with Sam Darnold. Baker can probably play for them for 5, 6 more years. He's going to be known more. Like, this is so embarrassing for the Browns. He's going to be known more as a Buccaneers quarterback than as a Browns quarterback. And the Browns drafted him #1 overall, won them a playoff game, beat the Steelers in the playoffs, did so much for the Browns franchise, and he's going to be remembered more as a Buccaneers quarterback than a Browns quarterback. And for me, I think that is absolutely embarrassing. But he's a solid franchise quarterback. The Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans have Cam Ward. They drafted him 1st overall last year. So he falls into the category of the Caleb Williams and the Bryce Youngs and the Jackson Darts and the Fernando Mendozas. This is the Titans version of that. He is a rookie franchise quarterback. Now, he didn't have a good year last year, but he did show flashes of talent. I have no doubt that he isn't talent. He isn't talented, but he's on the Titans. However, getting Robert Saleh as the Titans head coach, they're building big things in Tennessee, and I would not be surprised if the Titans jumped up the leaderboards a lot this year because of their head coach, because Cam Ward has another year under his belt. I think the Titans are going to do a lot better. For now, he's a rookie franchise quarterback. And last but not least, the Washington Commanders with Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is a rookie franchise quarterback. Obviously, I'm putting him above Caleb Williams because of my own bias. I think they're on the same level, though, I will say, because Caleb Williams pretty much had a very similar season to what Jaden Daniels had in 2024, but Jaden Daniels took them further and won Offensive Rookie of the Year, so I am at the top there. My big concern with Jaden Daniels is if he can stay healthy. I saw enough of Jaden Daniels play last year in the spurts that he was healthy to know that he does have the talent to be a franchise quarterback. Last year wasn't a fluke. I think he's in a good situation to succeed now. We have continuity at the offensive coordinator position by promoting internally instead of, getting someone else. So things will pretty much be the same. Sometimes when you see some of these guys, they're built for football when they talk about it, when it comes to film, when it comes to work ethic. And I think Jaden Daniels, he's our guy. He's like our Caleb Williams, our Bo Nix, our CJ Stroud, our Drake May, all those guys, And we haven't had that for so long. RG3 was the last one, but he was pulled out from under us instantly. Then we had Kirk Cousins for a couple years. And then after that, it was just, we had no direction. We finally have direction. We finally have a guy we can invest in. He is our rookie franchise quarterback. Hopefully he bounces back this season. Like I said, I think him and Mahomes are the two front runners for comeback player of the year. So I'm really hoping that Jane Daniels plays well enough for that to happen. Anyway, that is my tier list. I think I did pretty good. I think I didn't neglect any of the tiers. I think everyone is represented properly. But if you have anybody in the rookie franchise quarterback tier, you're okay. I'd say if you're in the solid franchise quarterback tier, you have a long-term solution. A lot of teams with the rookie franchise quarterback tier, I think they have a long-term solution. I think some of them are a bit of a question mark, like Tyler Shuck, like Jackson Dart, like CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. I think a lot of these guys still have a bit of a question mark on them, but then you have guys like Bo Nix, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, where you've seen enough of them playing well to know, okay, like this is our guy. Except with Jaden Daniels, he just needs to stay healthy. That's the most important thing for us. And then if you're in the superstar tier, you have a top 5 quarterback, and everyone in the league wishes they had what you have. So that concludes my tier video for the 2026 NFL season. Tune in next time where I review every single NFL team's 2026 season and do their record predictions. That's probably going to come in a couple weeks, but that's my next video on the horizon. I'll see you guys next time.